Today, I want to speak about definiteness and indefiniteness. Usually when we learn Arabic, this is one of the first concepts that we are taught. The tanween represents indefiniteness, and then you have the al, the lam of ta'rif, that's added to the word, and you have definiteness. And there are also other ways of making things definite. We know that certain words are definite, like pronouns. There's also idafa, which is possession. So when you possess something, you are defining it. And there are a few other ways. But what I want to show you is that it's not just about something being definite or indefinite. I want to actually look at this from a different perspective. And that's based on this scale, where the top part represents something which is completely 100% definite. And the bottom part represents something being indefinite, completely indefinite. And then we have the in-between, the grey areas. And I'll explain how we can actually look at it in a more comprehensive manner. Now let's look at this. We can represent a scale here, this red marker. And it can go up when it becomes definite and go down when it becomes indefinite. Now right at the top, let's go right to the top. We have just one word that is unlike any other word, where it is the peak of definiteness. And that's the name Allah. There's an alif lam in the name that's part of the name that can never be separated from the name. No other word is like this in the Arabic language. Just below that will be the Ismul Alam, the proper names. Now, getting to the bottom, right to the bottom, we have the indefinite noun. Now, some indefinite nouns are more indefinite than others. So if I said, as an example, kalbun, a dog. So it's indefinite, but there is some definiteness in understanding what it is. It's a dog. However, we can get to the lowest form of indefiniteness. If I said shay means something, but what? It could be anything. This is one of the words that is the most indefinite. Now, if I said, for example, rajul, a man, that's indefinite, but we know it's a man. But what we can do to this is we can add a description to this man and make it even more definite. I could say, for example, rajulun hindiyun, an Indian man. And I could add another sifa, adjective, and say rajulun hindiyun tawilun, a tall Indian man. So it's narrowing it down. And the more descriptions I add to it, the more definite it gets on the scale. I could go even higher than that and say rajulun hindiyun tawilun mutazawijun, married. So you see, the more details I add, the more definite this man gets. He's defined. So we can't say that here rajul is indefinite in the complete sense. We could say that the word rajul here is indefinite, but as a sentence, it's not indefinite. Now I could go even further and say rajulun jalisun hunaka, a man sitting over there. Here I'm defining him. So it's a man that I might not know, but I'm defining where he is, and we can look at him. He's right there. So you see how we can make something even more definite by adding adjectives to it. Now, getting back to the top of the scale, we know that, for example, pronouns are definite. So if we take two pronouns, let's take huwa and hada. Which one of these do you think is more definite on the scale? Have a think about it. So with huwa means he. It needs something to be mentioned prior for me to use huwa. So if I said جاء رجل وهو جالس هناك. A man came and he's sitting over there. So the huwa needs something to refer to. If I just said huwa jalisun hunak, you're like, who? Who are you talking about? Who's huwa? Now let's use hadha, this. This is a demonstrative pronoun. If I said hadha jalisun hunak, then that would be a complete sentence and it would make sense. Because when I say hadha, I'm pointing to someone specifically. So you turn to see who I'm referring to. So you probably guessed it. Hadha is more definite than huwa, based on that scale. Okay, so that's just briefly about that. And so I want actually students not to think of definiteness and indefiniteness as just, you could be either one or the other, but to see it on a spectrum, that there's different levels of it. So, inshallah, I hope that helps you with your studies, inshallah. And this is part of what we teach here. We try to give you a comprehensive understanding of language, inshallah. And we'll, inshallah, try to read through a advanced grammar book and explain that in detail, inshallah, which I hope will be of benefit and help us in understanding the deepness of the Arabic language and specifically how it's related to understanding the Qur'an. Okay, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to like the video, and to turn on notifications.
أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى